All right, Wayne Jetski almost viral. I'm here with Sledge.
Gang.
What's good, brother? Can you just talk in the microphone a little bit? I'm gonna
Yes, sir.
replace it for you.
Gotcha.
So we were just discussing how it's too easy now to get weed in New York City.
Bro,
The fun is gone.
the fun is gone. The hustle is gone of having to go outside and see who's outside.
Yeah, I know.
Now you can just go to the deli or just go to the smoke shop. Just ask what they have, and they have a whole menu. You know, they have a whole...
I think it's fucking the game up, and I think that a lot of people are selling bootleg Runtz packs out of the bodega.
Yo, and always be saying some next level ish too. It be saying like blueberry Sour Patch Runtz.
Yeah. You see the Coochie Runtz?
Super
I think that's legit though. I think the Runtz guys actually do that because one of the guys from No Jumper was
super
No
hybrid
Jumper
Runtz. Like, come on.
It's crazy. Are you a
And
big?
just say that you have sour and just keep it pushing.
Are you a big weed smoker?
Honestly, man, it's bad. I think people, me, I've gotten too consumed with it. I feel like I smoke before everything I do, but, that's life.
Are you the type of guy that like before every meal gotta light up before going to the movies, all that shit?
That's what I mean. Like,
yeah, it gets tough. I think that I had a little bit of like a psychosis induced by weed when I was like 22 and I had to chill out with it. But I am back into it now and I enjoy it. But, it's like the weed's too strong these days and it's too easily accessible. I think we might need to go back to illegalizing it or something. Nah, just kidding.
He said it's too strong.
Yeah, it's too strong. We can't be doing
It's
that.
taking people out. It's making fiends, okay?
Yeah, we need to bring mid back. A lot of people don't are like no mids in 2023. I'm all about smoking mid. Like I'm all about being able to smoke all day.
My dad's going to kill me for this. The first time I smoked mids,
Was his weed?
yes, he had sat me down. It was my first time, smoking with my dad, like
That's legendary.
I just turned 18, like he knew I've been smoking since I was young. So
Yeah.
now that I'm grown and shit, it was mids. I was
Reggie, we called that I've stolen my uncle's weed before, and we call it Razor Brand Crunch because it's like 2 scoops of weed and like 4 scoops of seeds and stems and all that shit. But
he did level up though,
you got to now. You have no excuse.
Yeah.
There's absolutely no excuse. Is weed a big part of your creative process?
Yes. Yeah.
Can you record without it?
I have. And that is actually more fun.
Why do you say that?
I feel like I'm more kind of thoughtful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like my brain is working more.
Okay.
Type of thing, yeah.
Does that affect the style of music that comes out if you're sober or not? Are you maybe more inclined to be more like lyrical or try to think of punchlines if you're straight sober, and if you're on weed, you're just gonna kind of ride the beat out?
The only thing that affects my type of song is if I'm drunk. I'm not gonna lie. If I'm drunk in the studio, that will affect. I will turn into Future or something like that. Like I'll make a whole different type of style of music.
Yeah, I feel that. What's your preferred alcohol choice?
Bro, I don't drink that much. I guess
Someone's saying
Hennessy.
Four Loko in the background. You fuck with Four Loko like that?
I do fuck with Four Loko though.
Oh,
but
man.
they should sponsor me. No, one day I'm gonna have a watch. That's gonna be in the bag. But probably say Duce.
Do you say okay? Shout out Jay-Z. He just sold that for like $1 billion. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
I didn't know he sold it. Wow.
He made the Henny competitor that made everyone think it was like higher class than Henny, and then sold it to a bunch of fucking rich white people.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
Shout out to him to get the bag. I guess.
Yeah, I was about to say that's true. That's just more money for the black fam.
When whenever I had recorded songs drunk, like I've always, not always was disappointed in the outcome, but there was a couple times I've been in the studio like fucked up, blacked out. I don't drink currently right now. I've been on a little bit of a sober streak, still smoking weed and shit, but no alcohol.
Yeah.
And there's a few times when I went like back and listened back to like a reference, and I'm like, this sounds like fucking ass. Why did I drink fucking 10 shots of whiskey before I did this? Does
The
that ever
only
happen to you?
time that happened to me, it wasn't off of any alcohol. I had tried a shroom trip, and I tried to record some music because that was the whole point of it. I wanted to see how that would affect my whole process. So my whole idea was to trip and make music.
Did that work?
Sure.
What was the?
I made music.
But did you like the music you made?
I made music. I mean, I think the world might hear it one day, but
So it's still in the vault. It's not something that's been released recently.
Nah, because this happened recently.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That was your first time experimenting with mushrooms?
It was my first time doing it in that setting, like me, just with myself, working, being creative with it. Yeah.
When did you take regular mushrooms? Did you take the chocolate bars? What'd you do?
I did these edibles. It was like
Gummies?
yeah, they were cool as hell. Like it was these square edibles and like
Yeah.
it was so cool, bro.
I'm a big shroom guy. Since I stopped drinking, I just take the chocolate bars like every weekend, and I think they're losing their potency on me. But I'm a big advocate for like taking them recreationally. I think it's a good
Yeah,
alternative to
like
getting like fucked up. Especially not, like when I was in college, everyone was doing blow, and now it seems like everyone's doing mushrooms. So I'm glad that like it's transitioned out of that.
that's a good transition.
You don't
That's a
peg me as
really good
a
transition.
coke guy, but I think it's good that mushrooms are the wave. Did you feel like you were seeing shit when you were on them, or it was just
Nah, I've never seen anything like that. Like I've
so you
never
microdose kind of?
Yeah, I guess I microdose. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Nothing
Yeah.
wrong with a microdose.
Yeah.
The macro doses are where you run into like seeing demons and shit. So it's good. That you
Yeah,
still
I don't want to start. See, my thing is, I want to enjoy it. I don't want to regret it.
Yeah.
That's my thing. I don't want.
And there's a very fine
I
line.
never want to regret
There's
it.
a very fine line between enjoying psychedelics and not. So
Yeah.
So walk me through your recording process right now. How are you making the majority of music? I know obviously you're saying you're smoking weed. You're obviously not taking mushrooms every time. But are you recording at home? Are you in studios? How are you creating the product?
All right. So I have a home studio that I try to make at least one song in once a day.
It's a good mode to go on.
Of course, I go to studios here and there, but I try to keep it all home based because that's where I can just be myself. And like, I'm also kind of my own engineer, and it's like I've worked with a lot of engineers in the city, and I kind of don't trust a lot. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry.
We don't. I don't trust a lot. But is there any horror stories with an engineer? Maybe like deleted a session or something like that.
Oh, not even deleted a session. Just terrible mixing. Just like I'm just looking like me as an engineer myself, and like me paying somebody to do that. And I'm just like, what is this? Like, I kind of want to sit down and do it myself. But yeah, that's happened a lot.
So do you like final mix and master everything yourself? Or you're recording and then you
nowadays, yeah. There is one person who I would send it into if I want to get something mixed, but nowadays, yeah, I do kind of mix my own stuff.
So even the songs that you have like features on, like this new one with Jace, right? That's how you pronounce it. I always when I first saw the name, I was like, is this iayze or some shit like that? But it's Jace.
Yeah.
So that one, did you record that at home?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fire.
I mixed that whole song from the crib.
And his verse, did you mix or he sent you stems?
Sent, yeah.
Oh, that's fire, man.
Yeah.
I think it's such a smart like path to go down now to be mixing your own shit, recording your own shit, because you save a lot of money, and also being able to kind of be a multi-tool of a person and be able to get the finished product yourself and not have to rely on, paying a mixing engineer is huge.
I kind of did that because I'm not sure if it was a money hustle at first or maybe because I secretly wanted to be an artist, but I started off as a producer.
Oh shit, cool.
So like it kind of gravitated towards engineering, but I was always an artist, low key. Like I was always rapping. I just never really took it seriously until I moved here after high school.
Okay, so let's get into that. Originally, where were you born and raised?
I was born here, but then after that, I just moved everywhere.
Moved everywhere?
Yeah, I've lived in the wildest states. I lived in Hawaii, Florida, South Carolina.
What was the best and worst state you lived in?
The answer is the same for both. Hawaii.
Okay, that's interesting.
It was the best because it's Hawaii.
And the weather's fantastic.
It's the worst because I lived there.
Yeah.
It's like, that's a cool place to vacation, but like I was like probably one of two of the only black kids in my school.
Yeah, I definitely don't think
the rest was native and then white kids, some Spanish kids, and it's like at that young of an age, it's like you don't notice it.
Yeah.
But you kind of notice it. It's like you kind of feel it like, oh, I'm the only black kid in this school.
What age were you when you were in Hawaii?
9, 10.
So is there a group of people called Kiwis down there? What are Kiwis?
Kiwis.
Or maybe that's Australia. I'm trying to think what the Aborigines are like.
I'm not sure. Yeah.
So maybe it's Kiwis in Hawaii. But anyway, I always see these videos and they look like they're kids in Hawaii beating the shit out of each other, and all of them are like MMA trained. Is that like a common thing? These guys.
All right.
These Hawaiians.
I was on a military base. I was around the good kids.
Okay.
Like I wasn't in the slums in Hawaii.
So you're a military kid growing up, moving.
Probably for about 2-3 years.
Okay.
That was kind of the lifestyle we lived. We moved from a lot of places. Yeah.
Yeah. So in Hawaii, were you hitting the beach? Were you like? Did you?
I went to the beach pretty much every weekend because we lived like right there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You surf at all?
I tried. It's not my thing.
Not a thing. Okay.
Yeah.
So then when do you come back to New York and kind of plant your roots here a little bit?
I guess I started kind of rapping when I was graduating high school in Virginia Beach. That's when I really started like kind of making music.
Did this start with production, or this started with you just rapping over like YouTube?
I mean, I started making beats young when I was like 13.
Okay.
Yeah, like that was a young thing. But rapping wise, it was like as I was moving away back here, I started rapping. That's why I kind of moved back here because I'm like, all right, now I'm making music. Let's go back to New York.
What part of New York specifically?
Harlem.
Harlem? Okay,
I
cool.
went back to my mom's crib.
Awesome.
And it was I think it was in like September 2018 or something like that. That's when I moved back up here. Yeah. And so since then I just kind of locked in with music, but that was like my first year.
And you're doing also the production now as well. Are you making all of your own beats, or you're not? You tapped into that because you said originally you were a producer.
Yeah, I was making beats for like 5 years, like strictly like beats, selling beats. I have a song with this artist. His name is Khan. The song got like 5 million views.
Oh shit, fire!
It's over a beat I made. It's fire. So like, but to this day, I didn't really keep up with it. You know, like I guess just being an artist, being that type of, it just takes a lot out of you.
And there's also something to say. I know you said also like you mix and you master your own shit,
Yeah,
record your own
like,
shit.
it's
So
like, yeah,
as I said before, like it's good to be multifaceted. It's also like there is some part where you're like you can't do everything. You don't want to be like, you know, a jack of all trades, master of none. Sometimes you got to siphon
and
off.
I kind of like my role
interests.
now. Like I kind of call certain moves around like this team of like 12 beat makers I have.
Yeah.
And like I kind of help their sound, tell people like who to work with, like you two have a good sound, work with each other. And like I kind of like that role a little better than like actually making the beats.
What do you look for in production? What is the first thing that hits you?
Work
Like,
ethic.
so someone, it's not even so much as the quality of the beats, is it someone who has a good
Not
output?
at all. You could be beginner, but you have to have a good work ethic and want to work with other people. Like some producers are like, oh no, I make my good beats. I don't want to send loops or nothing like that.
Yeah.
Like,
so when you're working on a project, are you trying to tap in with one or two specific producers, or are you just trying to gather as much fire as you can in your email and your DM and go off that?
I hate the fact that my email gets spammed with beats now.
Do you get shit from like, it's like a SendGrid or like MailChimp? It's all these producers sign up for this thing where it's like, I guess it scans Twitter for any artist that like puts out their email and it just blasts them.
I learned what it is now. These producers trade emails because one time I asked some guy because his beat was fire. Just one random day I went through them.
Yeah.
And I used one, so I found his Instagram. I'm like, yo, bro, how'd you get my email? And he's like, I traded it with this guy. So they trade emails. Like they hit each other up. Be like, yo, what's his email? What's his email? I have this email. And they just go back and forth.
That's a
emails.
crazy hustle.
Sorry, I just broke the whole scheme for the producers, but that's what it is.
That reminds me of like all these people who are selling like leaks and shit. Like it's that kind of mentality a little bit.
But that's kind of the same way how the leaks get around too. That's the same way, except that's for money. They be like, I got a hold of this whole pack of Young Nudie leaks. I'll sell this to you for $5,000.
This is more like a networking thing, I guess, because if you're not accepting like payment for it, I guess it's a little bit more noble.
Yeah.
So I see that a little bit. Coming back into New York and focusing on music, what is it about New York that you think helped you lock in? Is it just that there's more going on?
Honestly, it's the artists I worked with throughout all the years.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm trying to think. I think it was like 2020. It was 2020. That was COVID. That's when I was working with myself a lot.
Yeah.
And that's when I kind of found my own sound to myself. But the whole time leading up to then, I was working with a bunch of different artists. And I was just... I think I was kind of new to it, so I was kind of just trying to feed off of other people's energy type of thing. So that's how it kind of was up until when I kind of locked in with myself.
How did you meet these guys like SSG, Kobe, Killbunk, all those guys? They're crazy. I mean, you are too, but that's
that story with Kobe is crazy. Shout out my DJ Justin. I think he did something with his tour that stopped through Virginia, right? And then I think the cameraman had just... All right, so something happened, and he owed him some type of favor. So he was coming to New York. He told the cameraman, make sure Sledge is there. Yeah. Because I had copped the verse off of them. I had a song. This is time for us to link up, market, and promote a song, this and that. So he's like, make sure that he's there. So he came up. He made sure I was there.
That's fire, man.
Yeah. Like the whole night of, he was calling me like, yo, we driving up to New York, so just make sure you're ready.
Was that nerve-wracking at all? You're like, this is a good moment for me. Like I'm in. Are you someone that gets nervous for big moments, or you kind of just like locked in?
I'm nervous if it's... I'm not gonna lie, I got nervous on stage sometimes, but like in terms of like meeting people or just me having a chance to talk to people, I'm not nervous because I feel like I'm pretty normal when it comes to talking.
Yeah, for sure. You seem like a well-spoken kid. You said you get nervous on stage though. Is there something that ignites it where you lose the nerves? Is it like once the first song's over, do you need to take a couple shots? Do you need to smoke some weed? What?
Not so much anymore. I'm not gonna lie. Me going on tour last year kind of showed out all of that because I was put in a bunch of different situations. I'm not gonna lie, but I kind of got used to just being like
comfortable in uncomfortable situations.
Yeah, and it's also the whole aspect of having some type of crowd control.
Yeah,
you know,
I think that's huge.
Yeah, so that's what I learned. Yeah.
What cities did you hit on the tour, and who else was on the tour with you?
I was on tour opening for Big Baby Gucci. We had Mikey Polo, we had Top Hill Fredo. There was Kevin Powers. There was
shout out Kevin. He'd be on the show. Good guy.
Shout out Kevin. There was some few other artists too, but that weren't on the tour like the whole time. That had just stopped in certain cities. They were all cool. I think his name was NXG.
Mm-hmm.
That was my first time hearing his music, but he took off since then. Like I think SoundCloud posted him. Like he took off since then. So I met artists that like were kind of on the same lane, and it was cool to meet people because these people that I met kind of turned into my friends type of thing.
That's fire. That's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
What was the most lit city? Do you remember?
It's out of DC in New York.
Really, DC?
DC was crazy.
That kind of surprises me because it's not even a real fucking city. It's a commonwealth. No shade to DC. But.
DC's energy was crazy, man.
Really?
I went to DC twice. That was my second time at that venue. My first time was on tour for Autumn, but that time they was like from the start of the show to the end of the show, the crowd was just going bananas.
Are you encouraging mosh pits? Are you encouraging raging, all that stuff?
If they're for it.
If they're for it,
yeah.
I feel like in this new lane, like this new sound, and I've called it like, even though it's not SoundCloud music mainly, it's like on Spotify and all other like platforms. I call it like SoundCloud 2.0, kind of this lane, this vein of super punk aesthetic rap music and different sounds and synths going on. And I think it is cool that, you know, it's almost like a punk show, and I you know, envy that a lot for like these young guys coming up like yourself.
Like, don't you wish like when we was yeah.
I think it's like, since I'm probably a little older than you, I just turned 28. I'm an old head. But when I was coming up, like there was obviously rap, but rap was still very street, and rap was still like siphoned off from the rock world, and like if people were headbanging at a show, it was like fucking Limp Bizkit or something. And now it's kind of those two worlds have melded. Do you feel the same way?
See, me, it was kind of like in the middle, because my age is so like me in high school, it was off of X type of that. I kind of caught the like
where it was becoming like a normal thing.
Yeah, like that swift and like motion where it was kind of cool to start freaking raging and mosh pitting type of thing. And at shows, you would always see it, you know, like if you go out to some show that's happening you always see people mosh pitting or just trying to start it. And I think that all started with X, low key. Like he kind of set the trend for that to kind of be in rap cool, because it's not really gangster music, is more so just like
rage music type shit. I think so too. And Cardi obviously is like the king of it now, but even when X first came out, I don't think Cardi was on that. Cardi was still on like you know,
he was
Magnolia
on his New York
Location
fashion
type shit.
Yeah, like his high fashion.
Just being the jiggy fashion dude.
He was cool with A$AP Rocky at the time, you know?
That form. And now he's like, I don't know, a vampire demon.
I don't think A$AP chilling around that vampire demon. Yeah, call me when you're not on that timing, buddy.
Have you seen any of the footage from his Rolling Loud performance recently?
That shit is hilarious, bro.
It was crazy. And it just, like, I saw videos of girls, like, walking away, like, this is demonic, I can't be here, like, all this shit.
I feel them, I guess. But yeah, that's just crazy.
Yeah, the way he taps into that is wild, and like the high pitched ad libs with the live auto tune.
It's not everybody's cup of tea.
For
Let's
sure.
say that.
But the kids eat that shit up. It's crazy. So your live show, what are you focusing on the most? Are you trying to hit every word, or you're just more energy?
Not trying to hit every word. I'm trying to connect with the crowd. So like I'm trying to see like what would be the best energy to put forth. If I should put passion into the song, if I should put a lot of like more energy in terms of like starting mosh pits type thing. Yeah. Or if I should chill out with the crowd, because if they're like because there's been a lot of shows I go to where it's like a smoke session crowd. Yeah. Everybody's high as hell, and they're just sitting there like
a little more subdued.
Yeah. So that's when I'd be like, all right, I have to kind of change it up.
Yeah. I feel that.
Yeah.
Do you value cover art, and do you think it's like something that's super integral? I like the cover art of the Slime to Space series.
Yeah.
Who did that, and do you have a lot of input on
all right, so the first one, my producer Max, he had found this artist that got it. To this day I didn't get the artist name,
Yeah.
which is terrible. But the second one, we had our guy. His name is iayze. His name is iayze, like the guy from Bleach. But
Oh, you're an anime guy?
Mhm.
There we go. I'm not versed in it, but I have a lot of friends who are, so I recognize the name.
Yeah. So he kind of made the second one based off the first one. So he had the image in mind, and then he created the whole thing. He made the visualizer, like he made everything move around it, like it was so cool. So now he's like my main guy.
Sick.
So like we talk and we have whole idea conversation about what we want now, and it's a lot more. I think it's a lot better than just you hitting up some random guy who does cover art and just having him work, because now this guy has a type of feel of what type of music you make
100%.
too, and like what you like. So it works out better.
And the last thing you want is someone who you're just like hitting up on like a almost like case by case basis. They're not getting you the shit in time. Then, you know, release date's coming. You want to make a change. It's better to have someone kind of tapped in with you.
Yeah.
And I think the cover art space has definitely evolved. Like in the SoundCloud days, it was just you just took a stupid grainy picture off of your Instagram and threw an explicit sign on it.
There'd be some mirror selfies.
Yeah, I low key miss it a little bit because I think it was
some
funny.
Some of them were cool.
Yeah,
some of them were cool. Yeah,
like to go back to X, like the one of him on the ground, the iconic one of him choking out the fucking kid.
Yeah.
That's iconic. That's awesome. But I don't know. I think now, especially with like AI generated programs, there's a lot of way to make things like super.
Yeah,
fun. Like,
I did.
Like Yachty's album was AI generated.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fine.
Some people are like, this is super lazy, and it was like, I don't know. I think he's moving into like some robotic psychedelic drug sound.
I'm
like,
pretty
why not
sure
use
that
AI?
generated about 200 of them before they got to the one and picked that 100%. One. So they didn't do the lazy route.
Yeah, it wasn't just like let's pick the first one that comes out.
Yeah, I guarantee you there was some work that went into that.
That's just crazy. Are you at all scared about the future of AI?
Yo, the voiceover things are crazy.
The ChatGPT shit.
There's
this thing called ChatGPT, and that's what does a lot of the voiceovers.
That's what it is. Yeah.
So it's like basically an AI system that can quickly crowdsource all information on the internet about a topic, and then they put it into like a voiceover app, and it can create like if you give it all of Joe Rogan's podcasts and you give it all of like someone else's podcast, they'll like make a fake conversation between the two of them about like nothing.
I saw the funniest one. It was about Donald Trump, Obama, and Joe Biden talking about their top 5 anime, and it was just like, what the heck? Like,
and it sounds like them.
It sounds exactly like them, and I'm like, yo, this is hilarious.
It's crazy.
This is getting too crazy.
I saw one where Joe Biden was talking like super gangster about I think Trump and just everybody, and it was very funny. But I was like, damn, the mouth like the mouth lines up with the words. It's very scary.
Yo, 2023 is that is actually pretty crazy.
I saw something.
That's the thing that started this year. That is going to be the big thing of this year.
100%.
Once this year's over, we're all going to look back as this is the year that the AI really blew up.
I think you could have an AI engineer in the future. Like you just walk
like
in.
a studio engineer?
Yeah, you walk in with your session. You just talk to the robot, tell you like what into the mic, tell them what you want. I'm not trusting it. I'm saying it. Look, I think that it's something that could easily be programmed if you just teach basically a system how to run Logic or fucking what's it called? Logic or Pro Tools
FL
or
Studio,
something or FL and like just let them know what the key you want for your auto tune and like how you want the settings and if you want a little reverb or delay.
I feel like that is probably coming up in the next 10 years.
100%. It's scary.
It's not going to be like the main thing, but it's going to be invented in the next 10 years if it's not already.
Is there any anime that talk about AI or center around that and them taking over the world? I feel like there's got to be one.
I feel like there has to be one. I'm big on anime because it was with me as a kid.
Yeah.
Not so much anymore. Like, I don't watch any of the new anime. I watch the ones I was watching as a kid that kind of stuck with me that my inner child does not want to let go. Like the Naruto series, Dragon Ball, that type of stuff. But I'm pretty sure there's some cool-ass anime out there that does have it.
For sure. Who was the first person that you saw in the mainstream embrace anime? For me, it was like, I think iayze did. That's the first like superstar I saw kind of have odes to it in his style and his music and stuff.
I agree with iayze, but I'm trying to think if there was one before. I do agree with iayze, but I'm not sure if there was one.
Do you think
before.
now it's more like cool and accepted to be like when you were in high school or
it was not
school,
cool for me when I was a kid to like anime. I wouldn't hide it, but I wouldn't just be open about it either. Like I'm not telling people this is me. I like anime.
Were you Naruto running in the halls and stuff?
I wish I could.
That would
nowadays, if I was a kid in school, I'm doing that.
Yeah,
what?
It's probably like that's what the cool kids probably do now.
Yeah, but nah. So like, I kind of do have a like. I kind of wish it was cool for me as a kid to like it, because then I could really be open about it. But hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, I think it's in a good spot right now.
Yeah.
I want to circle back on the music a little bit. We talked about, you coming to New York, getting on some tours, and really kind of locking in. What has been the kind of theme of this year of what you're trying to accomplish? Is it another project? Is it just push out singles? What do you have your eyes on?
I've been working on my album. It's called Black Heartz. But the thing I want to do with this album is like, I want to just go for more so like a straightforward album that you could listen to front to end.
Yes.
And it's like, and it sounds all like one sound. It's not so much of mixing of like whole different stuff, which is what I kind of am used to. Like I always like kind of change up my sound and show off like this route, this route, this route. But this time I'm kind of trying to focus on one lane, and I'm trying to make it.
What's a specific lane and sound that you're gonna, if you could relate to something that you're gonna try to focus on, tap in, as opposed to other sounds you hit?
I guess it's just what the name of it is. It's gonna sound like Black Hearts. When I think of that, I think of like dark love.
I like that.
Yeah.
Does heartbreak or personal like relationships play into some of your writing material? Or are you drawing everything from kind of like a conceptual way, or do you bring a lot
everything that I have said is definitely lived?
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, it does play a part. Yeah.
Do you at all sometimes feel like when you talk about like heartbreak and stuff, or talk about any like dark things in music, that it maybe negatively attracts into your life, and that's not to say it makes the music not sound good, but like I'm kind of a person, or trying to be a person of like speaking things into existence. Do you think if you speak negative stuff into existence, it could kind of come back to you a little bit?
Nah, I feel like that's just more so me shedding light on who I am through music.
Cool.
Yeah,
I think that's a good way to look at it too. I do some of the things. I don't think like the lane that you're trying to tap into will do that, but I some part of me, like with a lot of this super gangster like drill shit, or like anybody talking about a lot of killing, I'm like, damn, that's not a good vibe to put out there.
I say it all the time. There's no market in that, man. It's nobody's gonna hear that and think let's push them to the moon. Like, they're gonna be like, we're scared this person's gonna end up in jail or dead, and like we're scared for them.
Yeah, and it's almost like that's kind of the status quo of what's happening, especially specifically in New York. Like the K-Flock situation, like signed a big deal, and now he's locked up, not even to reap the benefits of it. Like it sucks. It sucks these kids are so young.
That was like 2 years ago. In that time, there's been about 50 other drill rappers who've either died or in jail.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
Shit is crazy.
It's crazy, but everybody eats it up out here, and I do enjoy some of the music, specifically the production. But
that shit is so good. Yeah,
I love the UK influence. I do a soccer show here, so
it's such good music though.
I'm talking to Brits all day, and they love it so much. They love the production. They love like the rolling hi-hats and stuff. But I don't know. It's hard to be like, stop making this music when it does go off in the club in certain situations.
I don't feel like it's the music. I feel like it's the lifestyle. Like I feel like you can make the music all day, but like you have to be an artist.
Facts.
Don't be the drill. Be the artist.
Yeah.
Like you can rap about it, you can make the music about it, but don't go outside and do that. Like we have different people for certain shit.
What's a typical like weekend for you? Are you staying in the house? Are you trying to be out and seeing and flick up, or you're just locked in making music?
Out and seeing and flick up was never my vibe. There was a time and period when I was always around people, but that was always the vibe, and I was always just that type of person. I was just like,
But there is some value to it, especially now where everyone's overexposed content, and everyone's like, blasting everything they do on Instagram and TikTok. I see it. It can get a little bit taxing, and like something like TikTok, it's a fucking full-time job.
Yeah,
it's wild.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on it?
TikTok is definitely the market to go. Like whether you make fans, or whether you talk to people, whether you find somebody you might be a fan of, TikTok, you're gonna find like your way on TikTok if you just stay on it. If you just stay on it, you're gonna find your way.
It is annoying though. It feels like the stupidest shit blows up on it. It's like it's never what anyone predicted would be. Are you
talking like song wise or just like trend wise?
Everything, like everything about it looks like anything that goes viral looks like it took 10 seconds to record, and anything that was actually produced and like thought after well, nice visual, nice like good color editing, that shit never goes. It's wild. But I don't know. It is like the #1 music discovery feature right now. So
that's how I see it as. Like if you're an artist and you're not on TikTok, you don't take yourself seriously.
Yeah, you're missing out for sure.
If you're a creator as a whole and you're not on TikTok, like
yeah, you're fucking up. What is your favorite promotional platform, or one that you see the most success out of?
Nowadays TikTok.
Yeah. I feel like even though like it's annoying to do, that's definitely the way to go.
I make money on TikTok just going live. You know, you make money off TikTok.
Shit, really?
Yeah, you can go live on TikTok.
They donate to you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fire.
I love that shit, bro.
I have to start doing that. Damn. Is it like they donate and you have to like on YouTube if you donate like it's normally a super chat, so someone will like donate and they'll say a message, so you have to like read the message. You don't have to, but like you should read the message they send and that you like obviously cash out on. Is that what it is, or they just donate in real time?
It's like these gifts. I don't know how they do it. They just have these gifts.
Oh, like the badges, right?
Yeah, and like each one is worth something or something like that. I don't know how all that works. I just went live one time and people just started sending them. I'm just here playing my music on live one time. People were sending gifts, and I hop off. It was like $15 one time. I'm like, oh, that's cool.
That's nice. That's an Uber Eats right there. That's a little Uber Eats.
Yeah,
not bad.
If you start going live on TikTok more and you start making it a thing, you start having a type of brand with it, and like if you're doing something on it and you're being very, what's the word?
Consistent?
Like, yeah. You'll start to see some type of profit off it, you know? Like,
I have to tap in with that.
Yeah.
So, you said you're working on an album. What is the next drop in lead up to the album? Can you?
I have not announced a date yet, but it'll be cool to do it here. I'm dropping it on 420.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's gonna be cool.
Okay, awesome. Is there gonna be a lot of like smoking anthems you think tied into the 420 drop?
No, I just really like 420. I just love that day 420.
And we're gonna support the Bodega weed salesman that we previously talked down on 420.
I mean, I talk down on them, but I'm gonna support them.
Yeah. You got to.
They're literally next to my crib,
and they're hustling.
Yeah.
Just don't give us the backwater run, so we don't need.
Just don't tell me it's this Runtz, and it's just sour.
Coochie Runtz. I'll fuck with though.
Coochie Runtz.
But
I need to go find that.
We need to find the Coochie Runtz.
I need to go find that.
That's key. So it's Black Heartz, right?
Black Heartz.
Black Heartz coming out 420.
420.
This has been Almost Viral. Sledge, X Wayne, Jetski. Thank you so much for coming through.
You know the vibes.
And we should have you come back after the album's out, and maybe we'll do a vlog in a bodega trying to buy weed.
Yo, that would be hilarious.
That'd be fire, right?
That would be.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate you.
My boy, nice.
There we go.